All right then, so let's turn our attention to Matlock Town Football Club on tonight's sports show, and I'm delighted to say that we've got an exclusive interview with the Gladiators skipper. It's Ryan Qualter. Qualt, how are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Just getting all sorted for Christmas and the busy festive period, whilst also kind of trying to get head around what's gone on at Matlock over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, all good. Thank you.
Yeah, well, we were saying before we went on air, didn't we? It's like if you hadn't known what had been going on at Matlock for like a couple of weeks, we'd need a while to go through everything that had happened with the club.
Yeah,
So
you
we
need a
have it.
longer show, I think.
Yeah, the show doesn't run until midnight, unfortunately.
No,
But
exactly.
yeah, yeah, a lot has happened and changed again with Matlock, which has been the theme really so far this season. So we've got a new manager, as Craig Elliott, as we discussed last week on the show, has now moved over to Buxton in the National League North, and Matlock have recently appointed Martin Carruthers, who's managed Ilkeston Town and Baseford United. Now, I know you missed out on the chance to player manage against Stalybridge in the league, which was frozen off. But it has given you the chance to at least have maybe a couple of training sessions with the new manager. Just first of all, what have those training sessions been like? Has it been a positive experience with the new gaffer?
Yeah, like you said, it's been a bit chaotic. Obviously, from when we heard the news last weekend that we knew Craig was going, and it was kind of put on me and Shuts to try and organise what we could for last week in terms of training, things like that. But as well as it all going on behind the scenes, the weather obviously didn't help whatsoever as well.
Mm.
A lot of the facilities that we normally use for training were frozen. So Tuesday was kind of a no-go. All the facilities we use were kind of out of bounds. We managed to get somewhere indoor on the Thursday, which was good to get the boys together because it'd been quite a while since the previous game when we'd obviously played Buxton, that the lads hadn't kind of been together for that. So, and then by that time, the manager had kind of just been introduced. So we went there on training on Thursday, knowing the new manager was coming in, which was, I think, a boost to the lads because, like anyone in football, the not knowing, kind of the unknown, what's going on, it never kind of breeds confidence. So we had a really good training session Thursday. Um, and then the gaffer came down on Saturday where we trained in Manchester. Did little bits with us, but it's kind of again left to kind of me and Schutz. We just got a little quick blast with the lads, lots of five-a-sides, lots of touch of the ball, knowing that, to be fair, we had this week, Tuesday and Thursday, to get ready for the Boxing Day game. So it does give you a bit of time to prepare, which has been good. And the new gaffer seems really positive. We've all met him now. It seems a real kind of positive environment that he wants to bring in, so that we can only just go from Boxing Day and kind of go from there.
Yeah, now I have no idea. I've never asked you before if you've ever wanted to go into management whenever your playing career's done, but did you ever think you would have the chance to sort of lead a team out at this stage of your career had that Stalybridge game gone ahead?
No, probably not. It's something I definitely in the future would probably look into doing. It does interest me, but obviously at this stage of my career, it was kind of a little bit out there. We were prepared for Saturday. Me and Schutz, we kind of picked the team. We knew what we were going to go with. We had it in place. I mean, we did know the weather obviously wasn't really going to be on our side, but we prepared the lads and us to the best we possibly could. And if that game had come around on Saturday, we were fully ready for it. And I do believe we'd have probably gone there and got a result. It's all you can do in these situations. We've still got players that obviously that want to play. We've still got lots of talent in the squad, so we were fully prepared for that game on the Saturday if it was to go ahead.
Yeah, so looking ahead to the really big Boxing Day Derbyshire Derby that we've got coming up very soon. So Matlock at home against Belper Town. Now, I know Belper are at the bottom of the division, but I think if we've learned anything from this MPL Premier Division campaign, it's that any team can beat anyone. It's so tight, it's incredible. Because I think Matlock are ninth, but are still something like 8 points off the top of the league. It's
Yeah,
remarkable. How big is this game for Matlock on Boxing Day?
I think it's a massive game. I think it's a massive game for, to be honest, every team in the league. You get Boxing Day, the normally local derbies, you get good crowds down. It's a fantastic opportunity to get off to kind of. I know it's not necessarily the new year, but it's fantastic to try and get those 3 points and get the ball rolling as we go into January. So it's a big game, and like you said, the league's so tight. I think it makes it even bigger. You think, like you said, we're 7 or 8 points off top, maybe with a game in hand. We're 3 points off the playoffs. You could be sat there come Monday night, sat in the playoff positions. Everything started to look a little bit rosy again. So the leagues this year, I don't think I've ever played in such a competitive league. Some people have said the standards dropped a bit. I think it's completely different. I think the standards increased. I think it's got better. Everyone's beating everyone. Even your bottom sides are beating your top sides. And I think it's a real competitive league. I think if you looked at it now, for me, South Shields really with the games in hand and the way they're starting to kick into form are probably the one who will be favourites to win the league. But apart from that, I don't think you could nail down those playoff positions.
And how big will the crowds play a role in this game? Because I think the last time Matlock played Belper, obviously I don't want to think about that result too much in that FA Cup game last season. But I think pretty sure that game had over 1,000 people there. And with it being Boxing Day, quite a lot of people off work. There may well be a crowd similar to that. How big will sort of like a big atmosphere at the Proctor Carr Stadium play a part in?
Yeah, I think obviously we're glad we're at home. We've got a real good average attendance for the season. We want that to continue, and the way that continues to increase is by winning games of football. Our fans, I think, are fantastic. I think Tuesday nights come around and you've still got a real good average of 600-700 fans. So I think being a local derby, I think you're going to get extras down there as well, especially the festive period. People want to get the fix of football, so I think it'll be a really good atmosphere. I think it'll be nothing better to try and get 3 points, send the fans away on Monday happy, and again you go into kind of your January games with a real buzz.
Yeah, and I've always have a look online just to see sort of like what the general consensus is when fans are commenting on what's happened at the club lately and things like that. So I know a few fans are a bit worried because they've seen players like Alex Wiles go, who's obviously an important player. Callum Murphy has recently left to join Guiseley, but how confident are you still that Matlock can at least achieve a top 5 spot and go for the playoffs despite what might have happened in the past 7 or 10 days?
Yeah, I'm very confident. I've kind of obviously it doesn't look great when players are leaving, but players leave clubs for their kind of own personal kind of situations. Alex Wiles has got a great opportunity to move up a league at the age he is and to move to a club like Scarborough. I think it's kind of the club can't turn the offer down, but also I think for Wiles, who's kind of deserves his chance at that next level, I think it's a great opportunity for him. And the same with Callan. There's a few things going on behind the scenes that fans probably don't know about. He's got to move to guys if they're willing to kind of put him on a contract that obviously that Matlock weren't going to do at the time, which is it's the club's prerogative to look after the club. And I keep saying the ones that are left at the club at the moment, I think you've got the core that you would want to keep. And I think with a few additions, with a new manager coming in, I think it's actually quite positive. The manager's now got an opportunity to bring in a few players. He ain't got a squad where he's got 17, 18 and he needs to get rid of a few so he can bring a couple in. He's got the opportunity now to bring players in that he wants to bring in. So I think it's exciting times. I think whenever a new manager goes, a new manager comes in, it's always kind of a bit uncertain, but all we can do is kind of win games on the football pitch, and that puts smiles back on the fans' faces, and that's the best way to go about it.
Okay, well, great stuff, Qualts. I'm so glad to have had you on the show because I know it's been a while since we've done an interview, and I know it's been a hectic past couple of weeks for yourself. But thanks for coming on to the show and for your insight into what's going on with Matlock, and I'll see you on Boxing Day.
Yeah, have a good Christmas, mate. Speak to you soon.